So, learning how to learn is totally key and important to reach success. That's what we're going to talk about today in this episode. So, are you ready? All right, this is Itu, and as you know, we always bring you a special guest, a VIP, a hero, a brother from another distant land that is going to share his story and all of his success and very, very valuable advice that you too can reach success harder, better, faster, and stronger. So, without any further ado, here we go and let's get rocking. All right, all right, all right. So let's get it going fast and strong. So, who do we have today? All right, this is a brother that is super successful. I mean, you're not gonna believe how cool this guy is. He's chilled, but you can feel there's a lot of energy within. That's right. This is a warrior made from experience. He's very wise and he's very young. He's super cool. So let me just tell you a little bit, give you a little mystery in regards to who are we going to have here today because we are very excited. So let's keep those fires of expansion burning even higher. All right. So he's been in this the expanding for the last 11 years acquiring experience in the business world. So let me tell you his origin story because every single hero deserves one. Grew up just outside of Detroit, Michigan. Had a family of 8 living in a small trailer park. Mhm. Had trouble at school. A little bit of like, not doing very well during those times, but check it out. Um, had to go through some rough times, some drugs, ended up in rehab at the age of 14. And after that, his mom saw how that school system was failing him. So he decided to study on his own. That this is someone that learned that you make your own destiny from very early age, and he just took it upon himself to become the man that he is, a self-made success. Oh yeah. Now check it out. Learning from different entrepreneurs, he grew up, learning about expansion, building up, growing from within, you know, grabbing life, with your own hands by the horns, and learning about how to make money, how to expand and exchange with others, etc., etc. From there, he kept on studying, eventually starting his own business, which he grew into. Check this out. He grew into a multi-million dollar business with over 40 staff. He has as his greatest achievement growing a stable, sane, and happy family. Isn't that amazing? I mean, this guy is like, that's what I'm saying. It's like you become a billionaire or a millionaire the moment that you realize that the most important achievement in your life is not just money. It's actually the person that you've become and the influence that you can have on others around you, including the people that you love. So, moving on, check this out. How many people has this gentleman, very successful gentleman, has helped? Well, the answer is thousands of families in Metro Detroit with his company, and hundreds of other business owners have been helped by him or his company, as well as inspiring others to start and stabilize their own business. So we are very, very happy to have here with us our very, very special VIP guest for today. Let's give it up for Aaron Siepierski.
Woo! Crazy. Hey, thank you so much. Thank you for having me on. I really appreciate it. It's good to be here, man. It's good to see you.
Man, I was just impressed with everything that you have accomplished, man. How you broke through all the hard times that you have. How you're proud of having that background, and I'm just amazed, and I want to hear everything that you have to say about the subject that we're going to be talking, which is specifically, but not exclusively, learning how to learn. Learning how to learn is the key to reaching success. So tell me about it.
Absolutely. One of the things that I've been operating on, one of the statements or ideas that I've been operating on since the beginning of this year is that sales skills will get you some money, knowledge will get you wealth. Knowledge is the only thing that stands in between you and the life that you want. So I really think that's key in what we're talking about today, because a lot of people can go out and sell something and hustle every day and work their butt off, and really make it. But the key that's missing is like, how do you actually learn the things that you need to know to really, really hit it big and make it happen?
Amazing, amazing. Yeah, I mean, I totally agree with you. There is no road to success without being able to learn. And you got to learn from different places, not only textbooks, which is very important, but it's important to learn from yourself, your own mistakes, and watching what others do, and becoming perfect at whatever you are doing through application. So tell us about how you learn this in life.
Absolutely. So when I went to school, I failed every single year. I failed every single class. It was this, and to be honest, I didn't really even care. I wasn't trying to do it either. Like I wasn't trying to succeed or trying to do well. That just wasn't something that I thought that I could do. So I didn't even really. I saw the grades and I was like, so what? It doesn't matter. I'm not ever going to be the person who's get all A's. I'm not going to be that person right there. So why try, right? And this led me down this spiral that ended up in drugs. Ended up, literacy is the key thing. That lack of literacy gets someone on drugs. So it starts even before, and that's why we're talking about learning how to learn, because that lack of literacy ended up me going down drugs, not doing well. And once my mom pulled me out of that situation and put me into rehab and put me into a situation where I was able to learn on my own and was taught how to learn on my own and look at something, analyze data, and pull the correct pieces and actually learn, my whole life changed. And it took me, 32 years. I mean, not 32 years. It took me 15 years to really see that and finally acknowledge my mom correctly, because she, without that, I would never be where I am today. So she's really my opinion leader, who I look up to, because she was brave enough to go against the grain when everyone else was saying your kid needs to be in school, he needs to get a GED, needs to get and she's like, no, that situation right there put my kid in this situation, that literacy level. So we're going to change that. She did something about it, which was really cool.
Wow. Well, she certainly did something very, very right.
Yeah,
the,
agreed.
the hero behind the hero, the
Yeah,
heroine
exactly.
behind the hero. That is
Right?
amazing, man. Yes, I mean, everybody probably has a story that we can relate to having to learn. And it's interesting how, I mean, I've been doing this for a while, and I've spoken to so many different people, influencers, business owners, actors, and etc. But there's one thing that keeps coming up. You got to learn from life, you got to learn from your mistakes, and you got to do it willingly.
Yeah, you have to want to do it for sure.
See, see. So learning is very, very important. All right. So how about we get down a little deeper, and we
Absolutely.
move on to some other very interesting questions too that will provide us more data and maybe more advice and little tricks and tips for other people to be able to appreciate how somebody, from any stage of life can come up and just become successful the way that you are. Mhm.
Yeah,
Let's go a
absolutely.
little bit behind the scenes here. So let me ask you this, Aaron, my friend, my brother. What was the moment you realized something had to change?
I mean, the moment I realized something had to change wasn't when I got pulled out of drugs. I've been living my life, but it was really when I saw that my level of production was only producing for me a certain quality of lifestyle that was not acceptable. Really, I just felt like I had met my wife, and I met this girl I wanted to marry, and I just realized that I couldn't keep her in that situation. I couldn't keep her. She was worth way more than that, So I needed to
Oh,
step my game up. That was really the time where I was like, shit, I got to do something about this, and figure it out. And at that moment, I lost my job and I was sitting there and she was still in college at that point. And it was just like, all right, let's do something about this. And so that necessity level for my family definitely drove me to start producing, and it's been sleepless nights ever since, working my butt off trying to make it go right. And it's like it takes years, it takes time, it takes putting one foot in front of the other with seeing the long goal, to really be able to put something there and work on it long enough where it actually grows into something.
amazing. I love how you say that she was one of your main drives and inspiration.
Totally was 100%.
How old were you two back then?
I mean, I met her when I was 18, 19 years old. So it was right around that time. And I was living, we moved in together after a month after knowing each other. And where we moved was just like, we moved into this project because I didn't have any money. She didn't have any money. And I was just like, what the hell am I doing here? And, at that time, because of going to rehab and other things I experienced, I had seen huge successful people, and I've been in their homes, and I've been in these mansions on the beach in Florida and seen things. So I knew what there was to work towards, so that was definitely in the back of my mind, like, I don't want to live like this. I don't want to worry about where a bill or where money's going to come from. I want to take the money away, take the money problem away, so that I can actually deal with the real problems of life. Like, how do I build a great family, or how do I raise a successful kid, or how do I do better as a being myself? Those are the real struggles. But everyone is so caught up in the money game because they don't think big enough. They don't think with big enough expansion to be like, all right, well, how do I end it? How do I end the financial needs? How do I figure that out so that I can go play these other more fun games? Money game is silly. Like, that's not a fun game. It's a piece of paper. Like, it's fun to be able to do what you want with it, but that's people just get wrapped up, man.
Right, correct. And that's how a millionaire thinks. It's like money is just paper. The real party, the real game is taking care of everything else that it's important.
Yeah, absolutely.
I love it, man. I second that opinion and that viewpoint. It's amazing. Very, very good. Now, what were the main challenges that you had to overcome from getting started to where you're at now?
Yeah. Well, I had a boss who I worked for that I really learned this business from. I learned it all wrong from that person, unfortunately. But the one thing that they told me upon exiting that company was that you'll never be able to do it. You're too young. You'll never be able to talk to one of these clients going through a situation where they just lost one of their loved ones and handle it, right? So I started my business with that false idea of like that I probably won't be able to do it. And so I struggled. That was a big overcoming for me. Also, I'm 20 years old at that point and starting to make a little bit of money. And so that was a huge problem that I didn't think professional enough at first. I didn't think of big enough at first. I just was trying to get a paycheck, and just trying to get some money to feed my family. And that was really the wrong thought. I should have been thinking, all right, well, how do I scale this thing? How do I scale? And I just didn't have that mentor at that time to really help with that. So I was just, every day just grinding away. And that was okay to stay small and make a little bit of money, but it really didn't help me be able to build my business. So that was years. I really have only been really focusing and professionally building my business now for the last 5 years, 4 or 5 years,
Wow.
where I actually was like, let me actually like take responsibility and stop fucking around, to be honest. Because at 20 years old and you don't know what you're doing, it's easy to get some money and do something stupid with it. I bought this BMW with rims, at one point, and spent all the business money for that and other silly things that just not in education, just not knowing. Also, the tax game is really interesting, but to know the tax game, you have to be able to learn tax code. Well, how do you learn tax code if you don't know how to study? All of that is crazy. Like there's so many crazy things to learn out there. And so maybe that's the biggest overcoming is knowing what you don't know, not knowing what you don't know. You don't know what you don't know. And you have to go figure it out. You have to go figure out what you don't know,
Hmm.
you know?
Correct. That is very interesting. It's like sometimes we get caught up in. I love how you come back to learning because it's so basic, and we actually it's the first time that we've touched that specific subject in the show, and I love you for it because it's so basic. Um,
Yeah.
like you say, you have to figure out what you don't know because sometimes you're caught up in everything that you do know that you can easily see, but there's this vacuum of hidden information hiding behind a black curtain that is just sucking out the life out of your business. And it's very hard to look at what's not there.
I 100% agree. And that's the difference. The people that are really out there making what you want to do and doing what you want to do, they know something that you don't know, and all the information on this planet exists in a book. All the knowledge exists somewhere. You have to be able to be literate enough to read. You have to be able to understand words. You have to be able to put that data together and get a picture of it and actually be able to read it, understand it, conceptualize it, and then be able to duplicate it to be able to do anything about anything. That's what learning anything. And so a lot of people take a skill like a plumber or something like that, and they duplicated that skill, whether they saw it, whether they were able to watch it. They have to be able to do that or realize that I have to do that on every single task that I want someone to do in my business. And then my new challenge lately has been, all right, well, how do you put that into processes so that other people can duplicate exactly what you want, do it exactly how you want it, and because it's all up here, I can see it, do it, know it. And then you hire somebody and you're like, well, they should be able to figure it out. I figured it out, but they're not, they don't see what you see in your head. So that's a huge part as an executive to be able to not just expect people to do what's in your head.
Hmm. Totally. Yeah,
I can do it.
it's a different skill. It's like you say, a lot of executives struggle with this because it's one thing to put in cash for somebody else to take it and then make a business out of it and just run it. That's one thing. Being there, in the trenches, in the battlefield, day to day, with or without morning coffee, it's just a totally different business. It's a totally different reality, and it's not just owning the thing and telling people what to do. It's helping them being able to execute it. That's what it really really takes to be a successful business owner that is making his way towards expansion. And that's
I,
all.
I agree.
Okay, good. So let's move on. What's next here in the menu? Well, let's see. What impact made your success on others? What impact did your success had on others?
Yeah, I think that the biggest thing that, my success has done is show people, or one of the things is a lot of people are pretty surprised that knew me from where I came from, and they're like, what the hell? Like, how did that happen? And a lot of growing and a lot of changing and a lot of like changing myself had to happen for that to happen. And then but the thing about it is that you're a beacon, like a being, a person, emanates energy and emanates like around them, so you affect everybody. So when you do well and you're not an asshole about it and you can help other people see that, and it moves them up just a little bit. My whole environment right now has been changed in the past 3 months, even, and my wife is just like skyrocketing, doing super well. My daughter is doing super well in school. Like different people are making changes around me because of what they see I'm doing. And so really the immediate everything ripples out. And who knows what this video might affect. It's going to live on the internet, 1 year from now. I get like 2 emails a week. I haven't worked on my YouTube channel in like a year. I get 2 emails a week from somebody watching my YouTube channel that got value from it, that emailed me, and I'm just like, wow, that's just sitting there providing value to somebody, and so many hours are watched a week online. I'm like, that's really cool, right? So the
Yes.
idea is like, how do you affect more and more people, and how do you help more and more people? Definitely, drug-free world, drug programs is on top of my mind right now. Literacy programs. I think literacy programs are almost like they're both just as important as each other. But literacy programs help those kids before they end up doing drugs or going to drugs because they can fully understand things. So that's super important. Helping others has never been higher on top of my mind. And I know that growing my business, that's the point. The point is to be able to free myself up or free my family up so that we can go make a bigger impact, a global impact. And that's why I'm really excited to see the next 5 years, now that I sort of figured it out. And it's like, all right, well, I'm good. I'm stable now. And it's like, all right, what's the next big game? The games are always going to be helping people.
Right.
And I think that, that's how you actually really truly grow, is by having the bigger game of like, how do I make a bigger impact on the planet and keep getting bigger and bigger and bigger? Because even just a small impact, going and cleaning up something or helping someone or whatever, one person is a huge impact, but you can do more of that,
Hmm.
with growing your
Totally.
business.
Totally. I totally agree with you. I Let me just comment upon something. I love how you included the fact that helping others actually creates a better environment where everybody can expand, and that helps you as a business owner, as an executive, because not everybody has that exact same viewpoint. But upon talking to dozens and dozens and dozens of people that are highly successful in life, they mention this thing that it's the caring for others, whether they were your customers or not, or the people that you're working with, your partners or your co-workers, your employees. It's making sure that you help them on whatever they need, to the amount that is needed, so that they can be better at their job, and also a little bit in their life as well. That makes such a difference.
No, I agree. And it's just like, if you're not doing that, like that was a mindset shift for me. That was something that had to change. Things have to change sometimes. Like you have to change. You have to be able to grow and change your viewpoint, because I'm still working on how to be a better, how to be nicer to people. Like I'll still, cut someone's head off at work and like not really realize, and then later be like, maybe I should have handled that differently. Like none of us are perfect, but the idea of going in that direction and getting better and better and better and being aware of it and then knowing to work on it is all that is what everyone should be doing.
Mm, totally. So the moral of this story is, you gotta grow as a business, but you also gotta grow as a person and help others do the same.
I agree 1000%. If you don't grow yourself, you'll never be able to grow a business. You'll never be able to attract the people that you want to attract. You'll never be able to do business with the people you want to do business with. It's step one. And people think of this thing about like, oh, you changed or something, or oh, you're not who you used to be. That's bullshit. I'm more of who I used to be. I'm more of who I am, but I'm not doing dumb shit like I used to be. I'm doing responsible things. I'm just
Totally.
more me, and me is responsible. Me is ethical. Me is that's me. All that other stuff was not me.
Mhm.
So it's like people have to change. You have to change yourself to be able to hit the goals you want to hit in life. You can't stay the same.
Good, fantastic. And that actually leads us to our next question. Are you ready for this?
Oh yeah, always.
Check it out. So, what is next for you? What is your vision of the future?
That's a great question. So my vision for the future, this is the year of expansion. It is, one of the interesting quotes I heard at the first of the year, which I don't know it word for word, so I won't try to say it. But as the universe expands, you expand in the same way, right? You have your own universe and that it must expand. And if you're not expanding, you're going to collapse in on yourself. So this is the year of expansion. This is the year of 10x, 50x, 100x. It's the year of figuring out the last little tweaks before we take things big. My plan, what I'm working on right now, I have a huge program going on in my business to process everything and to put everything into job roles and job hats and training and how we train our staff and how we train people to do the job exactly how we want to do it. And then we're going to start duplicating it in other cities. I have a huge social media team that I'm working on putting together right now to be able to go into any city and essentially duplicate our success that we've had where we have it. We're 100% self-funded. We've been every single year. We've never really taken any big loans or any funding or anything like that. And my goal is I'm going to expand into every city. And I don't care that it doesn't necessarily have to be self-funded, but the plan right now is to self-fund 100 cities in the U.S. with our company and take all those 100 companies to $10 million each. And, you know, you can do the math. So that's the plan.
That is
That's the expansion
amazing.
plan.
It's a great, great, great plan and a great job. And I'm sure you're gonna, rock it and just kill it, man. Because
Yeah.
I can see the strength in you and power and so much decision. So you go, Aaron. We're with you, man.
Thank you. Let's get it.
Let's hit it, brother. Okay, good. And these brings us to, unfortunately, our last question of this episode, which is my favorite one. So here it is for you. Brace yourself.
Ready
if,
for it, always.
if you could go back in time and tell your past self the most important advice to be successful, what would that be?
Um, don't do drugs. I mean, like, I would just tell myself, like, don't do that. Don't do that, and you'll be all right.
Sure.
I mean, sure, those experiences. I don't think anybody needs any of those experiences. Like, people have negative experiences that then they grow off of, which is really positive. And I've definitely done that as well. But I don't actually think you need those experiences. Like for my daughter, I want her to have positive experiences so that when she grows, she is expanding way beyond my thoughts, because she's not held down by these past hard times. Or I know that a lot of successful people use their hard times as a catapult for that. But I think there's two things, and I'm going to go off the rails again on your question, but there's a difference between like forcing yourself into the future based on changing the past.
Mhm.
And then there's the other thing about forcing yourself in the future by putting big goals ahead of yourself.
Mhm.
And I would much rather have started with the second one, not
Right.
trying to correct the past, not trying to fix everything. So actually, I don't remember what your question was at all, but
But it was
um,
good advice, though.
yeah, but that's what I got. The thing I would tell myself, I would just be like, like, yeah, don't do that, don't do drugs. Period.
which which totally, totally, totally makes sense. Okay, good. So that was a very, very excellent advice because drugs can totally annihilate your future, and it could take years to come off of them, and the effects that they have in your person, in your mind, in your emotions, in your relationships can totally destroy any chance that you had to begin with. So, but let me get back to it again because that was on a personal level, which I love it, which is amazing. Now, on a business level,
Yeah.
let me just throw it back to you again. If you could go back in time and tell your past self the most important advice to be successful, what would that be?
That would be learn how to teach others. Learn how to learn how to teach others. My biggest struggle, present time, my whole business, a thing that I drill and I'm working on every single day is how do I teach others what's in my mind? Because I have all this creativity flowing and all of these things that I want done, and I can do them. I know how to do them. I could figure out any program online, I could figure out any action in my business. I can do it. The thing that's hard for me is saying, all right, you have this person who's totally willing, totally on board to be your employee. They want to win. And then you're like, yeah, just do the job, you know? And they fall flat on their face. You fire them, it ends up all bad. It's like it's ridiculous. So that's something that I've definitely been working on as the executive is learn how to teach others and have the wherewithal, the sanity to not get upset with them when they don't get what you're saying. Like the communication is your problem, not theirs.
Mhm.
What you get duplicated by them is your problem, not theirs. You're the one who wants it duplicated. You're the one that wants it done right.
Mhm.
So that's learn how to teach others is something that I think that if you know how to do, you can be extremely successful because you need hundreds of thousands of people working for you. Apple or all these companies like hundreds of thousands, or I don't know how many people they have, thousands and thousands of people working for them. All right, well, how do you get all those people to do what you need them to do? Well, you have to help them and you have to teach them. And that's my biggest struggle. So I would tell myself, learn how to do that.
Amazing. Okay, good. Well, there you go. I mean, valuable stuff for life and valuable stuff for business. This was very, very interesting. Also, very powerful, and it's going to be of a lot of use because it's very, very, very valuable to business owners, entrepreneurs that are starting or that are already on their way to reach success, or they just want to, kind of like turn Facebook in the morning and kind of go, yeah, let's watch something that is actually interesting and of value. So thank you very much, Aaron. This was amazing. You're such a cool guy, man. And of course, because you are being that much successful.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate your time, man. This was cool.
Fantastic, man. So do not forget to continue checking us out at this place, that this group that we have, Expand the Fires, where we bring you continuously people with stories and very valuable advice to help you grow bigger and stronger. And Aaron, I just want to say, you, my friend, are now part of our Expand the Fires tribe.
Expand fires, man. Let's get it.
Yeah, okay, good. So thank you very much, all of you guys. Check us out at expandthefires.com and do not miss out on our next episode because we're going to keep on rocking it until the fires reach the sky. I'll see you later. And Aaron, once again, thank you very much, brother.
Hey, thank you.
Bye bye.